our agenda contains data about our cluster. How do we actually configure and set up our cluster? Clustering evolution. What exactly FreeHyper-V offers out of the box. Storage and management components, and implementation scenarios. What does FreeHyper-V offer out of the box?
Well, FreeHyper-V offers FreeHyper-V out of the box. It does offer you Hyper-V role clustering feature, and that's essentially it. It's a stripped-down version of the operating system with no graphic user interface, so the command line only. And you have to maintain some good command line skills to get it up and running and configure your cluster properly. And still, to get it clustered, you may want some shared storage, and then to manage it properly, you still need some additional skills.
So, as you notice, the very first step is to configure and provision shared storage. So this is where I want to pass my word to Max to speak about storage component.
Right, thank you, Alex. Indeed, in order to cluster something, you have to configure shared storage. So there is no way to configure a shared nothing cluster for solid uptime and real resilience, which would tolerate failures or unplanned downtime. So idea with StarWind Virtual SAN is to get rid of traditional SANs as a dedicated storage layer and converge that layer into the hypervisor layer. So as you can see from the diagram, hypervisor and StarWind Virtual SAN are running on the same hardware. They're running on the same layer, so StarWind acts as a Windows layer application. And it takes local storage, mirrors it using standard Ethernet, and thereby we get a lot of benefits. So first of all, we zero our hardware footprint. We don't have any additional servers. You just have your virtualization layer, and that's it. Thereby, we dramatically reduce our capital expenditure and, of course, the operating expenditure, because no proprietary layer to buy, no proprietary layer to run. That's excellent. And on top of that, while a lot of companies need at least 3 servers to do a similar thing, StarWind managed to create an ecosystem which is self-sufficient and fully fault-tolerant with just 2 servers. This system is relying on heartbeat interfaces between the servers and keeps your data fault-tolerant. So should one node fail or one data store fail, your virtual machines are still available from the copy which is available on the partner. Now, everything here is Windows, and StarWind is a Windows application as well. So it's as simple as a set of wizards you go through to configure your storage. So it takes really half an hour to configure the entire clusters. It's really easy to use. You don't need any specialized stuff for management. You don't need to go to any trainings or certifications to do that.
Clustering is going to be a really big point for most of you guys. So when you get a cluster within infrastructure, you need to find a convenient way to manage that. So if it's based on FreeHyper-V, you really need to be able to see that and do all the management within the same console. So Finder Manager allows to do that, so you can just add it to the console, check available storage that you just previously configured to the StarWind Virtual SAN, and make sure that it is there, and you can clearly see that storage configured successfully and correctly, and you can see all the available space there. Then you would add a remote virtual machine to your cluster, so make it high available or just a standalone one. Great functionality that you get with a real cluster is a real live migration. So when you have it, you can freely move virtual machines around, and actually some great features like dynamic optimization are also common this way. So once you have a cluster with shared storage, you're able to freely move virtual machines around and make sure that load is optimal on each of your cluster nodes. Performance and maintenance tasks with File Manager also becomes very simple. So what you do, you just put one of your nodes into maintenance mode, and with or without running roles, and you can easily resume it afterwards after you've done all of your cluster maintenance.